All right, everybody. So today we are taking another deep dive, and this time we are wading into the murky waters of independent contractors.
Ooh, yeah, that's right, murky waters. Because it's never clear, right?
Never clear.
There's always something new with this stuff.
Yeah, so we've got this document, client letter-dol-flsa.pdf, and it's all about classifying workers, independent contractors versus employees.
The eternal question.
The eternal question, right?
Yeah, and it seems like it should be simple, but it's really not.
No, it's not. And this letter is basically a warning, I feel like, for businesses, right?
Oh, absolutely, 100%, yeah.
The Department of Labor is like really cracking down.
Yeah, they're changing their tune a little bit too, which is what's
Correct.
interesting. In the past, it was kind of like, check a couple boxes, you got an independent contractor agreement, you're probably fine. But now they're really emphasizing this thing called economic reality.
Okay, economic reality. See, that's what throws me off right there.
It sounds very vague and ominous, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
What does that even mean in the context of, like, hiring somebody?
Yeah. So basically what it means is the DOL is looking beyond just the labels and the paperwork.
Yeah.
They're saying, okay, you call this person an independent contractor, but what does the actual relationship look like? Like, how much control do they really have over their work? How much are they financially dependent on this one company? So even if someone's using their own equipment, setting their own hours, invoicing you, which all sound like independent contractor things, if they're only working for you and they're getting most of their income from you, the DOL might say, nope, that looks like an employee to us.
So it's kind of like getting at, are they really independent or are they just independent in name only?
Exactly. It's like the duck test, right? If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Right. So how is a business even supposed to figure this out? I mean, like, is there some kind of like a quiz?
Right. Is there like a flow chart we can use here?
Exactly, because this letter mentions a 6-factor test. And I'm like, do I need a spreadsheet to, like, hire somebody now?
Well, it sounds very official, doesn't it? A 6-factor test.
It does.
So basically, it's 6 things that the Department of Labor is going to look at when they are trying to determine whether a worker is truly in business for themselves or economically dependent on the company.
Okay, makes sense.
Right. So they're looking at, like you said, control over the work. Like, how much control does the company have over their schedule, their process, those kinds of things. Also, opportunity for profit or loss. Can this person actually make more money based on their own initiative?
Right.
Or are they just getting paid a flat rate no matter what?
Well, that's a good point.
And then the level of skill and initiative required, is this a specialized skill set that suggests, this person is running their own business?
Right.
Or is it something that anyone could be trained to do?
That makes a lot of sense.
Right. So those are just a few of the factors.
Yeah. But even then, it still seems like one of those things where it could kind of go either way.
Oh, yeah. 100%. It's super gray.
Right.
And to make it even more fun, it's not just the Department of Labor you have to worry about.
Oh, no.
Because I was going to say, hold on, didn't this letter mention that the IRS and like state agencies have their own little tests?
Oh, yeah, they've got their own ideas about who's an employee and who's a contractor.
Of course.
And their tests don't necessarily line up.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so you could be totally compliant with the IRS, but then a state agency could come after you saying, no, you owe us a bunch of back taxes.
Oh, my goodness. So you really can't win.
It's a real headache.
Yeah, like what are you even supposed to do as a business?
Right. Are we all supposed to just hire lawyers now?
Right? Like, is that the only answer?
It feels that way sometimes.
Yeah, but I think the biggest takeaway from this letter, and honestly, this is something I tell all my clients, is documentation is your best friend.
Okay, so, like, what are we talking about here?
So first and foremost, you need a rock-solid, independent contractor agreement.
Okay.
And I mean, like, don't just download something generic off the internet.
Right.
Make sure it's state-specific, make sure it's up to date with all the latest laws, and actually reflects the reality of the work being done.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, make sure you're addressing things like intellectual property rights, dispute resolution, all that fun legal stuff.
Okay. Yeah, all the things you don't think about when you're first starting out.
Exactly. But it's not just about the contract itself. It's about clear communication throughout the whole working relationship.
That's a good point.
Right. Like set clear expectations up front. Have regular check-ins, document everything.
Oh, that's a good point, because then you have it if anything does happen.
Exactly, because if you ever do get audited, you've got proof to back up your classification.
That's a good point.
Right. So it's really about being proactive, being informed, and covering your you-know-what.
Right. Not just trying to, like, slip it past and hope nobody notices.
Exactly. Because they are noticing, and the penalties are getting steeper and steeper.
Yeah, this is a great summary of basically everything that we talk about on this show.
Right.
It's like, always be one step ahead of the game because the rules are changing constantly.
Yeah. And, this letter, it feels kind of like a bummer. It feels like a warning.
Right.
But honestly, I think it's a good opportunity. Like you said, it's a chance to review your practices, make sure you're doing everything by the book, and protect your business.
Protect yourself and your business.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to deal with a lawsuit.
No, nobody's got time for that.
Right. And especially not over something that could have been avoided with a little bit of planning.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And, maybe a good lawyer.
Well, there you go. There's the takeaway, everyone.
Yeah.
Go find a good lawyer. If you're a business owner and you are thinking about this.
Or even if you're not, maybe you should be thinking about it.
Exactly. And read this document. Because this is like the tip of the iceberg. This is just one little piece of it.
Oh, yeah. This is just to get you thinking.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on another deep dive.
See you next time.
See ya.